gang violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, I can still get shot by the police, but I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, Shout Around? It's a Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. Let's get into the video.
So, state police pull over a driver for a safety violation like a seatbelt or a broken taillight, but then search the car for evidence of another crime. Outgoing Cook County State's Attorney Kim Foxx is drafting a policy aimed at stopping this practice, and it comes on the same night that loved ones are demanding justice for Dexter Reed, who was shot and killed by Chicago police during a traffic stop in March. NBC5's Natalie Martinez is getting reaction tonight.
Tonight at CPD headquarters.
So this is absolutely ridiculous. Guys, what you have to understand is these woke policies don't work in practice. And what Kim Foxx is proposing is going to harm more black people than help. What she is essentially saying is when a police officer pulls you over and they have probable cause to pull you over, probable cause to search the car, they can only search the car for what they're looking for. But if they so happen to stumble across something else, she basically wants that to be inadmissible. And that doesn't make sense in any realm. But in Chicago, she's trying to put this into law, which is ridiculous because you're basically saying that if we don't know exactly what if we do know exactly what we're looking for, we can't look for anything else, or if we do find something else, it's going to be inadmissible. She's basically saying that, hey, we're not going to enforce the law.
Small group gathered for the Thursday police board hearing to demand justice for Dexter Reed and others killed by police. Reed, who was stopped for a traffic violation in March, was shot and killed by police on Chicago's west side. Now, Cook County State's Attorney Kim Foxx proposes overhauling the police traffic stop policy, with prosecutors rejecting cases that are solely the product of a non-public safety traffic stop.
No, we know that we're not bringing anyone back from the dead, but what we are doing is preventing the next a young black man riding around in his car being jumped out at by police and then killed.
What Kim Foxx is saying in her policy is that we don't care what people violate, what traffic code people violate, and we don't care what police officers find after.
23rd Ward Alderwoman Silvana Tabares released a statement today and told us tonight that she believes the policy grants extra protections to dangerous criminals.
Kim Foxx wants to instruct her assistant state's attorneys to deny charges for crimes discovered after a traffic stop. That's astonishing.
Chicago Police News Affairs said in a statement in part that the superintendent has made clear that our efforts to reduce violent crimes do not center around traffic stops. In a post on X, Illinois Comptroller Susana Mendoza says the policy will keep illegal guns in the hands of criminal offenders. The state's attorney's office emphasizes this is a draft policy that they're working to refine and implement. Natalie Martinez, NBC5 News.
Our thanks to Natalie.
And, just for reference, a lot of people are referencing this Dexter Reed dash cam video, body cam. I mean, this guy is a complete idiot. He gets pulled over by the police and he starts shooting at police. I mean, what the heck? And they're saying, oh, he was a innocent, unarmed black man. No, this guy was a violent offender. And he got his ass aired out because he decided to shoot at police officers. He was uncooperative. He wouldn't roll down the window. He wouldn't step out of the car. He wouldn't comply. And then he decided that he was just going to blam back at the officers. And now they're trying to use this as the basis of why they're pushing this policy. Insane.
Rob, inside Chicago Police Headquarters, it's known as the traffic stop strategy. Officers instructed to use ordinary traffic stops as a way to intercept guns, drugs, and gang members, supposedly to reduce violence citywide. But tonight, new data analyzed by the I-Team shows the stops are usually fruitless. One reason why Cook County's outgoing state's attorney says a policy is needed to stop it.
Well,
What violation have I committed? I'm on my way to.
Well, obviously, every time you get pulled over, it's not going to be a situation where they find something crazy or they're even looking for anything crazy. But if you're escalating the scene, then that just is an indication of guilt. And that's when the police usually start to move forward, unless they can blatantly smell or see contraband in the vehicle.
Disgruntled drivers, along with civil rights advocates, have voiced frustration to the I-Team for years about so-called pretextual traffic stops, a new version of the old stop and frisk street search tactics, according to critics.
These stops, for these minor reasons, are being made to give officers a reason to ask for consent to search a car or to fish around to find other criminal activity.
Traffic stops are critical when it comes to addressing violent crime.
But new police data obtained tonight by the I-Team show CPD traffic stops rarely resulted in any charges or even traffic citations last year.
So obviously not every traffic stop is going to end in a citation or, you know, a charge. But most of the time, if the police are pulling you over, they see something that is unusual, maybe erratic driving, they stop you, they let you know. And if it doesn't result in a citation, then you're on your way. I really don't see the problem, right? Especially since they're not stopping every car on the street. This is the same logic used with the shot spotter. Oh, well, shot spotter only results in like 10% you know, charges when the police respond to the location where the shots were fired off. Well, that's 10% less people on the streets doing crime. That's a win.
Year, a gun was only discovered in 1 out of every 1,000 traffic stops. And in 960 of those stops, or 96% in 2023, drivers received nothing but a verbal warning from officers.
It is not having an impact on public safety.
State's Attorney Kim Foxx tonight tells the I-Team that before she leaves office early next year, she wants traffic stop-based searches by police to be prohibited unless there is a public safety threat.
Doing these searches, again, searches that have a disproportionate impact on Black and brown communities that don't net a public safety benefit, we should not do that.
Wow. Insane. I can't wait till this woman is out of office, but I don't think there's going to be any her replacement is going to be any better. I think it's only going to get worse.
The traffic stop controversy recently came to roost here in East Garfield Park during the stop of 26-year-old motorist Dexter Reed. A tactical unit said it started because Reed wasn't wearing a seatbelt.
Open the door now!
Investigators with the Civilian Office of Police Accountability, COPA, say they believe Reed fired first, wounding an officer. Officers returned fire with 96 shots.
So this is the case that they're using to justify this law or this bill. I mean, Black people, if y'all fall for this one in Chicago, I'm throwing my hands up. You know, it's done for the city. I mean, as if it isn't already done. It's wild.
Killing him. COPA has called the basis for the traffic stop into question. Under this newly drafted state's attorney policy that has been obtained tonight by the I-Team, traffic stops for routine, minor infractions would not be allowed, and the state's attorney would decline to prosecute cases that are solely the product of a non-public safety traffic stop, even if a gun, drugs, or stolen property were found during the subsequent search. For instance, the case of Dexter Reed, if he hadn't been stopped under a policy that would prevent non-public safety kinds of stops, he would probably still be alive today, but at the same time, you'd have an individual with a gun. Where's the balancing factor in that?
I would also say we'd have a police officer who wasn't shot in the line of duty as well. When we are substituting the truth, which is, are you pulling someone over for a tail light, or are you pulling someone over because you want to look in their car without probable cause? We don't get to circumvent the Constitution.
We've learned the proposed traffic stop policy change was recently sent to Chicago police.
Has the city's policy on using traffic stops as a form of policing changed?
It's not the city's policy. It hasn't been.
It may have been an initiative by someone who thinks or who felt that that was a style of police work. For me, I see things differently. I'm more focused on violent crimes. What I'm looking for are those individuals who are in cars, who are looking to commit violent acts. If we're not doing that, then it becomes open season on our communities.
Tonight, government sources have told us that officials in the state's attorney's office are now in talks with the city about that proposed policy draft. At the time the I-Team interviewed Superintendent Snelling, we had not been made aware of the possible traffic stop overhaul. We've since asked CPD officials whether they will curtail their long-standing traffic stop strategy. So far, no reply. We will keep asking.
A lot to still be determined. Yeah,
there sure is.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's your boy Janquavius Jackson, and y'all already know I'm demonetized and shadow banned in this bitch. So if you want to contribute, go to the Cash App, the PayPal, the GoFundMe, or join the Patreon. Also, don't forget to visit the merch store for all your favorite BGZM News 17 gear, including our exclusive Trump is a Blood t-shirt. Go fast before they sell out. They are already flying off the shelves, no cap. And remember, these super gremlins are on demon time.
A lot of reaction coming into a new policy proposal that is being floated by Cook County State's Attorney Kim Foxx.
It would direct prosecutors in her office to reject drug and gun charges that stem solely from routine traffic stops. Political reporter Paris Schutz is here now with the reaction to that proposal. Paris?
Yeah, Sylvia and Terrence, Foxx is crafting this proposal just months before she leaves office. So in short, it would prohibit prosecutors from charging anyone with gun or drug offenses if those items were found during a non-public safety stop, i.e. for broken taillights or expired stickers. A leak of the draft document states the attorneys would, quote, decline to prosecute possession of contraband charge case when the charge is solely the product of a non-public safety traffic stop. Now, Foxx's office says the policy has been in the works since August, months before a deadly police exchange in which Dexter Reed was shot and killed after a traffic stop and after firing at officers. Foxx and groups like the ACLU say the traffic stops have been disproportionately aimed at non-white citizens. And in a statement, the state's attorney...
Well, I mean, we all know why that is. It's because the non-white citizens are the ones committing the crimes, and you know, I mean, it's cut and dry. It's not a mystery. Who is the one shooting up Chicago? Who's the one getting businesses shut down? Who's the one who is going in and mass looting? These super gremlins are on demon time.
Attorney's office says that only 1 in 1,000 of these stops yields an illegal gun, and, quote, decades of data demonstrate that these stops do not enhance public safety. Instead, they perpetuate a cycle of mistrust and fear, especially in under-resourced communities. This draft policy is a crucial step toward rebuilding that trust. Now, the move comes as Foxx is on her way out of office. Democratic candidate Eileen O'Neill Burke declined to comment today, but Republican candidate Bob Fioretti says he would end it the day he takes office.
What will we say to the family of a murder victim, of the next murder victim, whose assailant should have otherwise been in jail, only have Kim Foxx failed to do her sworn duty?
No word exactly on when this policy is going to take effect, but a CPD official has said the department's violent crime policy does not center around routine traffic stops. Sylvia and Terrence.
Outgoing Cook County State's Attorney Kim Foxx wants to do away with certain traffic stops in Chicago. Critics say those stops unfairly target specific groups.
WGN's Jenna Barnes is live in the loop with details now. Jenna?
Yeah, right. And Micah, Kim Foxx's office tells us they have been working on this draft policy since last fall, and it could drastically change how prosecutors charge cases that are based on traffic stops. Under this draft policy, the Cook County State's Attorney's Office would not prosecute gun, drug, or stolen property cases if they're the result of what's considered a non-public safety stop.
Wow, that's crazy. They'll decline to prosecute gun, drug, or stolen property cases. So what's the point of outlawing guns if you're not even going to prosecute if somebody is in illegal possession of these weapons? I mean, it's wild.
traffic stop for a reason that doesn't pose a safety threat to anyone, like an expired plate, registration, or broken lights. The office also wouldn't prosecute if a search during a traffic stop is based on consent without probable cause. State's Attorney Kim Foxx saying in a statement, decades of data demonstrate that these stops do not enhance public safety. Instead, they perpetuate a cycle of mistrust and fear.
And this was going to get y'all killed. This is going to get the whole community X'd out. Period. I mean, I don't know what else there is to say. But this is going to get the whole community X'd out. Period. If you are not going to prosecute these crimes that can lead to violence, and the whole city is going to fall very shortly after this policy is enacted.
Especially in under-resourced communities. This draft policy is a crucial step towards rebuilding that trust.
If you exist as a black person in this country or as a brown person in this country, you to some extent fear that interaction with the police because it could result in them taking your life.
Activists have been fighting for an end to what are referred to as pretextual traffic stops.
Don't roll the window up.
Their concerns heightened after a CPD tactical team killed Dexter Reed in March after he shot an officer.
Right. He shot an officer. And they're basing the precedent of this law on this case. Now imagine if these officers didn't take him off the streets. How many other black men or women or children would he have killed? These super gremlins are on demon time.
That traffic stop, the Civilian Office of Police Accountability says, was initiated because Reed wasn't wearing his seatbelt. A seatbelt violation would not be covered by Foxx's policy.
What she is saying in her policy is this: we don't care what traffic code you violated, and we don't care what police officers find after. I want to see more traffic stops in my ward. They work.
The proposal is receiving swift pushback from some in city and state government. Illinois Controller Susana Mendoza tweeting, "The policy will help keep illegal guns in the hands of criminal offenders rather than getting them off the streets. Future victims deserve better." Looking forward to a new state's attorney who will follow and enforce the law.
If this policy even makes it in place, I will change it on the first day.
Bob Fioretti is the Republican candidate running to become the new state's attorney. Kim Foxx isn't seeking re-election.
We do not need 2 defense attorneys in the courtroom, and that's what she's making it happen.
Fioretti's Democratic opponent, Justice Eileen O'Neill Burke, declined to comment on the policy.
We're going to keep that public pressure on. We're not gonna relent around this just because Kim Foxx is out of office. We're not asking, we're not begging for.
And these are the woke community or communita activists, I should say, that are continuing to perpetuate the violence in the black community, making excuses, not holding each other accountable, not taking group accountability, not taking group acknowledgement, encouraging the law and order to be dismantled, screaming to defund the police when bro has like 30 crooked teeth in his mouth. These are the leaders of the community. It's ridiculous.
Because Kim Foxx is out of office. We're not asking, we're not begging for the end to pretextual traffic stops. We are demanding it.
Chicago police tell us tonight their efforts to reduce violent crime do not center around traffic stops, and they note a reduction in stops so far this year compared to this time last year. We're live in the loop tonight. Jenna Barnes, WGN News.
Gang violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, in school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.